Right, and we are backstage right now. We'll be live on the radio in just about, let's see, 20 seconds from now. There we go, getting all my settings correct. So stand by, we'll be starting in about 10 seconds.
Look good. I guess place for radio.
Welcome to AbilityMKE Now. My name is Sue Roskoff. AbilityMKE Now is a show all about integration, bringing people with disabilities and people that don't have a disability together, enjoying life here in the Milwaukee area. We all have different abilities, and here at AbilityMKE Now, we dive into this topic of diverse abilities. The concept of disability hits a wide range of possibilities. We could be talking about physical or mental disabilities, the deaf and hard of hearing community, blindness, chronic pain, mental health diagnosis, goals of substance use reduction, and the list goes on. We all have our own experience with disability, whether it's our own, with people we know, or with people we encounter in our daily lives. Here at AbilityMKE Now, we break down the barriers and celebrate the ability in all of us. I am so excited to be bringing a new friend to the show tonight. Richard Halter is a wonderful gentleman who I've had the pleasure in the last little bit here getting to chat with him and learn a bit more about what he all does. And I am excited to have him come in and share a bit more with all of us of how he is. He is the Wizard of POS. So, yeah, POS, Wizard of POS, and we will find out more what that exactly means here in just a moment. He has written a book, Arts for Retail, using technology to turn your consumers into customers and make a profit. Part of a 3-book series, and he's created YouTube videos and done so much in the industry. I am excited to learn more from him. So come on in and join us. If you could share a little more of your background and tell us more how you are the wizard. Thanks for joining us, Richard.
I started in retail technology almost 30 years ago. And in the 1990s, I was asked to create an application that allowed people to pay for their items online without having to go through a call center. Back then, that was the way that you paid. You called in, and a newspaper wanted people to get access to their archives, but it was too cheap or too expensive to use a call center. So they had me write the first online credit card authorization system. And when Visa certified me, they told me that was the very first one they'd ever had. So I told that to somebody, and he said I was the unknown father of e-commerce since I started it all. Then I went on and I helped build out the Association for Retail Technology Standard, which is an organization that allowed retailers to connect applications in a standardized way. It was created by 5 major retailers who were challenged with buying new applications and then having to integrate it into their ecosystem. And the expense and challenge for doing that is insane. So they wanted a standardized way to do that. And I helped lead that effort. And over 25 years, I was the chief technology architect for that group. And we worked with over 1,600 subject matter experts. I tell people that I was in college for 25 years, and those guys were my teachers. But anyway, in doing that, in 2010, I was asked to show a point of sale vendor how to create an omni-channel point of sale. And that's the one where you buy online and you pick up in the store world. That's common today. Everybody does it. So I was the architect for how they did that. They produced what I said in 2013 and released it at the NRF's big show in January that year. And they were so successful with it that NCR bought them. And it's now the Emerald point of sale system at NCR. So I've been involved with retail technology for a long time. I've helped all kinds of companies to put it all together. And I mean, major companies, your Walmart, Cencosud is a Walmart of South America, Lululemon in Africa, you name it. I've been there and taught people everywhere about this stuff. And when I was, as I told you earlier, I was talking with a company in Arizona and in the hospitality industry, and they said, "Do you realize that you're the Wizard of POS?" And I thought, "Well, that's kind of cool." That same week, I was talking with a company in the convenience store industry in Chicago, and the gentleman said, "You're the Wizard of POS?" And I went, "Ooh, this is crazy," because those two guys don't know each other, right? And then we went to the NRS Big Show. This was in October. In January, we went to the NRS Big Show, and Lexmark had a Wizard of Oz pavilion. So I've got my picture taken in the Wizard of Oz pavilion. So I said, okay, that must be where I got the title Wizard of Oz from. And I just adopted it as my brand. Makes me unique.
It's perfect. And for those who don't know what POS stands for, what does that stand for?
That's a point of sale. That's the register you use to check out with.
So the way that all came together, I love that. That's when that is definitely what was supposed to happen, because yeah, for you to be in that spot where I mean, we all do online purchases these days. I mean, I would say for the most part, it's commonplace now. Even in my job at the university, I think I had at least 4 different transactions today online, purchasing things that we needed for what we do. And that is something that you had your fingers in from the start.
Oh, maybe I shouldn't have told you, because now I'm going to get the blame.
I love it, actually. Oh no. For me personally, I find it so, the level of convenience where I can just go to my computer, tap a few buttons, and you know what? In the next couple of days, what I need is going to show up on my doorstep. That is crazy. When I was a kid,
It,
nobody ever thought that was a thing, because it wasn't. Yeah.
it's going to get even crazier coming forward, because there's this new concept that I'm explaining out now, called unified commerce. And there's things called Internet of Things. It's like your refrigerator at your house that is able to figure out that you need eggs, and it can build a shopping list for you of the things you need. You can then add in stuff from your social media, your cell phone, etc. And you submit the shopping list to the retailer, and the retailer has artificial intelligence that looks at that list and goes through their inventory and puts out a path to follow the store to pick up those items, and they send it to a robot who goes and gets them. The robot then, when it's got everything, it goes and pays for it automatically, and it returns it to either a drone for delivery to your house, or it returns to your self-driving car that it now tells you where it is in the parking lot, so it can return them there. So that's coming. So it's even better, because you don't even have to try to figure it out yourself and go get it. You just say, hey, bring it here, and it'll be delivered on you.
It's amazing. I think, it was probably, I'm trying to think how many years ago it was. I'm gonna say at least 15 years ago, that somebody was telling me, like, your refrigerator is going to be in an outer wall, and it's going to be that there's doors on both sides, and it'll be something along the lines of what you were just describing, where a delivery could happen and they open the door from the outside. They got whatever the access is. And at that time, I'm like, oh my gosh, this blows my mind. What do you mean that it's just going to magically show up? But it's coming. That type of technology, it's on the horizon.
Yeah. Well, people today are so busy doing things with their kids. I've got 4 kids myself. They're all adults now, but I've got 11 grandkids and 6 great grandkids. And so it's insane. I get to go to basketball games and baseball games and soccer games almost every night of the week.
How fun is that? I love it. So, so where do you see things going into the future then? Because what you were just describing, I mean, I know, drones and all these things were like the future magic that was going to be happening, and it's here that that's become very commonplace. So where do you see things headed?
That's where it'll be headed. The artificial intelligence component is going to be even better because in your house, it won't wait. The refrigerator won't wait until you're out of stuff, but it'll start figuring out that, well, hey, she's going to make this recipe, so we're going to need this, and then it can go check out what you have in supplies and order it ahead of time. So you're going to start seeing that. You're going to start seeing artificial intelligence figuring out that the store, that it's the inventory level for eggs is running down, and start ordering that up ahead of time so the retailer doesn't run out of it. I was working with a company in Australia in the pharmacy industry, and they had this was during COVID, and they had the problem of getting drugs, and they had to be able to hook their inventory of the store up with the corporate store, up with the vendors, the suppliers, and the manufacturers to find drugs in real time. And so I helped them build that out. And so that's all coming. It's all going to be automatic, if you will. They're gonna pretty soon be able to do it mentally, right? Oh, that's what you meant by that. Okay, well, I'll go do it for you.
Oh my gosh, somebody reading my mind. Scary. Well,
Yeah,
and I'm seeing what kind of benefits this is for people who have mobility issues and can't
exactly.
do so. Oh my gosh, that is going to be a game changer when those that can't just hop in their car and go. This was some way. Sorry, that whole thought process that this can take care of so many issues that
Yeah,
people face,
yeah,
and it's not just a convenience, it's a necessity type of a scenario there. You don't
yeah,
need to find somebody who can take them to the grocery store or do that run for them. This is a solution.
yep, yep. That's what's going to happen. So people with disabilities, and then you're going to have robots in your house that are going to be cooking up the meals for you, right? Which helps you as well. I mean, you already see that now with the robots that sweep the floor. Um,
Mhm.
I I was in a retailer the other day, and they had one of these robots that was cleaning the floor, and it was a self-driving. There was nobody in it, and I was getting in front of it trying to mess it up. It wouldn't run over me. It stopped.
Testing the limits of the technology.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But it was doing inventory management as it was driving through the store. So it was scanning what was on the shelves, and it was finding things that were in the wrong place and telling people to go fix them and move it around where it belonged and all of that kind of stuff in real time. So it's the future is going to be insane, and it's going to change dramatically now that this artificial intelligence stuff is coming. Uh, there's one of the interesting things. I'm a technology guy. I'm not a vendor selling products, right? I tell people how the products work. And I've got a whole series of posts out there on various kinds of technology like artificial intelligence, and they're there to explain it in layman's terms. Because one of my audiences is C-star type folks, the CEOs, the CIOs, CTOs, and they can throw out the terms all day long, but they don't know what they mean. First time I ran into this, I was at McDonald's, and McDonald's was looking at connecting up their stores so their division managers, regional managers could find out what was going on in the store without being in the store. And so I'm sitting there in a room, a big conference room, with the lady that was in charge of this. And when they went to her, she was saying, we're going to use pause log this and pause log that, the point of sale log, the output of a point of sale. And they came around to me and they said, well, who are you? And I went, I'm the creator of pause log. The look on her face was absolutely, she didn't know what she was talking about, right? But she never used that one term after that again. I mean, so, so yeah, I've been trying to do this for a very long time.
I love it. I'm picturing all the different ways that this has made a difference and where this is going, and that you've got your fingertips right in the middle of the future, and what a fun place to be.
Uh, I make a mess. Is that what you're saying?
Well, the way I see it, you make the mess and you figure out the gadget ways to clean it up. Kind of like how that,
Yeah,
the multifunctional type of a thing. You're just talking about how robots are going to be commonplace. And with the gadget that's out there now that can actually vacuum up your floor for you, how many people are actually stopping for a moment and saying, "Oh yeah, that actually is it's a robot. That's what that is.
it
It's
is.
real. It's here."
Yeah. And if you're careful, it'll play games with your cat and dog. It'll bounce a ball around the floor for you.
So entertainment as well. Well,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
speaking of entertainment, we do have another friend that is joining us. I'd love to have her join this conversation as well. Marianne of Waikiki is a longtime friend of the show, and she is the author of the Acts of Kindness series. And Marianne, I wonder if you want to come on in and say hello and give us a quick intro so that Richard knows a little more about what you do.
Well, aloha, Milwaukee. And thank you, Mahalo, Sue, and Emily and Kurt and the Disability Channel. I was interviewed by the Disability Channel last fall. I'm an author and Apple game developer of the Acts of Kindness series. I won the award, the Awesome Foundation Grant Award in Honolulu chapter. And Leon McLaughlin and I gifted the Hawaii School for the Deaf and Blind a water unit, so they have clean water from Clean Water Foundation, as well as our second book called Rabbit Acts of Kindness, No Bully for Anti-Bullying Month. And what a joy that was. And we want to multiply the acts of kindness. And we're going to be coming up to World Water Day on March 22nd. And we will be launching our fourth book for Leon called Cool Acts of Kindness for Climate Change, and it features 200 folk Manus puppets throughout the series. I have Apple app games. I've created a YouTube channel with the characters doing the ABC, ASL, finger spelling 26 letter alphabet with coloring books and the puppets. And I just uploaded a t-shirt line to Shopify to make this all happen of the project. So our first book is called Underwater Acts of Kindness, featuring Noah, the hard of hearing humpback whale, who is recruited by a sea turtle called the General of the New Earth Army to tackle the Great Pacific Garbage Patch between Hawaii and California. And as I stated, our second book is Rabbit Acts of Kindness, No Bully. And our third book is Righteous Acts of Kindness. And our fourth book is Cool Acts of Kindness. So you can visit us on the YouTube channel. It's called the Acts of Kindness series. Again, meet the characters such as Dr. Fingers, the finger spelling hermit crab, Eve, the finger spelling bumblebee, and Chelsea, the courageous sign language chicken. And then you can still go out and play on the Apple app games today. So it's been great fun to create this. I was a sign language interpreter in Hawaii for over a decade for a deaf man. And through creativity, this is what the universe told me is my next purpose. And no one has done any animation movies with sign language characters. So we're getting ready to launch, and through the Happy Neighborhood Projects, we met you and our intellectual property attorney, Dr. Liddy, who has federally trademarked us. And we're ready to launch these products with Liam McLaughlin and Clean Water Foundation. So you can visit the actsofkindnessseries.com. That's actsofkindnessseries.com. And a little bit later, Sue will be launching this new video I had created. I work with my Fiverr graphic designers in the middle of the night in Pakistan. And we have a new book trailer for Underwater Acts of Kindness. It's just dynamite. So we hope to move it forward to bring it to Netflix or other film festivals. So I'm online applying for grants, etc. And yeah, you can purchase these products off of Amazon. And someday I hope maybe that Amazon and Walmart will be supplying these on a shelf to give our world, the disability community, characters that do sign language, and no one has done that. And Sue, we have 500 million people worldwide with a hearing loss now. We have millions of moms and dads coming home from being of service who can't hear their own children or grandchildren. So this is what the world needs, and I was guided to do this, and I'm excited to share more of this veterans military support with Zach Clayton this Saturday, who's doing a 222 awareness Saturday. And you can join us every Saturday also on the World of Ability. Leanne McLaughlin joins us the latter part of the show, and we are talking about amazing projects that we are doing. I'm editing tomorrow with my writer. We're applying for the Pollination Project. We have a new character named Polly Nation and Cool Acts of Kindness. So it's a lot of fun creatively working, and we can't wait to get this out into the point of sale with your guest here and find out what he can share with us and how to make this all happen. Thank you so much for having me be here. Aloha. I'm Marianne of Waikiki.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Marianne. And I do see that Diva is joining us as well, so I'm bring her on in here. Denise Vargas is also a wonderful friend of the show, and come on in and say a quick hello. I'm excited that you'll have a chance to meet Richard here tonight. He is the Wizard of POS, and I think you're going to enjoy this. I love it.
Love it. Wizard of POS. I love that. I'm looking with his wizard hat and wand. All right, weave me some magic for sure. I'm glad I was able to pop in for a little bit. I'm gonna have to definitely connect with Richard and get some of his magical wisdom.
As I said, if I don't know it, I make it up. So you have to figure out what's real and what isn't.
Ooh, love that.
That's
So
that
how
he
can we-
and Kurt are kindred spirits.
How can we connect with Richard?
You connect on LinkedIn.
Yeah, LinkedIn is probably the easiest way. Richard Halter, last name is Halter, and yeah, he is definitely easy to find on there.
Yeah, there's not too many people with a hat like that.
It's
I
perfect.
also have a YouTube channel too. It's called Richard the Geek, and there's 60 videos on technology. The stuff that we were talking about. Some, it's short videos explaining it in a little more detail. And if you really want to get down in deep, that's where my book is. You can get down into the bits and bytes. There was somewhere between 15 and 20,000 attributes created in that work. So it covers almost everything you want to do in retail. But when I say retail, what I've come to realize is anybody who sells anything is in retail, whether they realize it or not. If you're selling a battleship, you think that's not retail. Well, somebody's buying it, right? And that makes them your customer, no different than going into Walmart and picking up a loaf of bread. It's the same thing. It's just the size is bigger. Or you go to McDonald's and get a hamburger meal, right? That's retail. They don't really think of it that way, but it is. Everything is in retail. So my work applies to virtually the world.
So, when you go way back, how did you get started in all of this? Has this just always been technology's been your thing? And how did you start?
Technology has always been my thing. In fact, I started out in the oil industry back in the 1970s, and I helped build the first three-dimensional seismic exploration system for hunting for oil. And that was the first time they were able to do a 3D model of the subsurface, because oil underground gets in one of the architectures, there's a dome. And when you want to drill for oil, you want to try to hit the top of the dome. Well, they were hitting the sides and stuff. So they weren't getting all of the oil out of that particular dome. But with a 3D model, they were able to do it exactly. And that's where I got started really doing technology stuff. And then eventually I started doing remote connectivity, and that got me into the food service world. And then that got me into the retail technology standards, and the rest is history.
So I got to ask that, what is your, go ahead.
I was going to say, if you see, I've spoke all over the place. I got
Oh my,
files and
I love it. So, and I gotta ask, so what is the favorite piece of what you do? What with what you're doing currently? What is it speaking to people and sharing the details of how things work? Is that your favorite, or what is it that speaks to you these days?
well, there's a couple of three things. One is putting together the school. I've got a school of retail technology that I've been creating, and I've now got four courses in it. I'm working on the fifth one. So I'm building out the ability to educate people about all of this details, and it's very detailed. That's one thing. The other thing is speaking like I'm doing now, talking to people. As you can see, I can talk forever about nothing, and I do it really well. Then the other thing is just sharing the knowledge, letting people out there know, building those YouTube videos. I started actually creating videos when I was 4 years old. My dad had a movie camera, and we started way back then. That was 70 years ago, right? So I've been creating this, and so I've been into the entertainment industry. That's why there's 60 YouTube videos out there, right? Helping explain things using videos. And so there's three things that I really like doing: creating the videos, creating the school, and just explaining.
It's what it is though, that having those conversations and being able to share the knowledge, because your background is very unique. I mean, who else can say that they were at the beginning of all of this?
Yeah, that's one of the key things is that when we built out all of those standards, like I said, we had 1,600 subject matter experts come in, and we tailored the work to whatever it was we were doing. So if we were doing inventory, we brought in inventory experts. So I was trained over all of retail, whereas 90% or 99% of the people who work for various vendors know their product. And even when I went to Walmart and I taught Walmart about this stuff, now you'd think Walmart knows how to sell stuff. I mean, they've been selling billions of dollars worth of stuff all the time, every year. But when I got done with them at the end of the week, I had people come up to me and said, well, I never knew that. They always learned something they didn't know. And I started coming to the realization that even retailers, they know their business. They wouldn't be in business if they didn't. But they don't know what's happening outside of their business. Like you were talking, what's the future? That unified commerce, people don't know about all of that and how all of that fits together and how you can connect it up to make your refrigerator order eggs for you to be delivered to your house, right? It's so I get to teach people how to do stuff that they never really thought about.
It's amazing to be able to have, I know Diva talks about this a lot, with being able to basically dream, well, Diva, dream every day, visualize always. That's what the DEVA can stand for with her name. Denise Vargas, that's DEVA from her name, but truly to be able to dream things into reality, to visualize what is possible and to figure out then how to create that as a reality. That's a unique thing that a lot of people are struggle to grasp onto, and to be able to pull that all together. So this has been such a pleasure to be able to share you with with everybody and what you're all doing and have done, the experience. For me, this has been absolutely thrilling, and it's been a true pleasure to have this chance to talk to you and to be able to share you with Marianne and Denise and all of the Milwaukee area here. Really, Richard, thank you so much for joining us, the Wizard of POS. We hope to have you
Thanks for
back
having
again.
me.
Yeah, this has been like I said, a true pleasure. All the thanks from all of us here at AbilityMKE Now. My name again is Sue Roskoff, and as always,